What's up, guys? JP back at you once again, bringing you guys day number 16 in my 6th annual 31 Days of Horror. This is a series in which we watch and review 31 horror films in 31 days, all during the month of October, leading right up to Halloween. And this year, one of the most important things that I wanted to do was watch a few Blu-rays that I had in the collection that were just collecting dust. I had no reason to watch them, and I'm kind of one of those people now with the podcast and all my different projects where I rarely watch something that I'm not intended to watch for something. Meaning, like, if I'm not turning it into content, I rarely just go and pick out a movie in my collection and watch it. So if I'm not covering something, I typically don't watch it. So this year, I wanted to make an excuse to watch some things, and I had a couple of Vinegar Syndrome Blu-rays in the collection that I hadn't got to, and I decided to go with Witchtrap from 1989 for today's review. This is Vinegar Syndrome released, Kevin Tenney film. Kevin Tenney directed this. Of course, Kevin Tenney is from Witchboard and Night of the Demons, as well as Witchboard 2, and of course Witchtrap. This film follows a group of paranormal researchers, investigators, who are sent to a house that is supposedly haunted by demonic forces in order to rid these forces so that the owner can turn it into some sort of profitable business. I think maybe like a bed and breakfast or something like that. And these paranormal investigators start getting killed off one by one. Stars Linnea Quigley in a kind of a minor role, but still we get to see her in all her Linnea Quigley glory. She's awesome. And that's basically the film. This film kind of reminds me of a Full Moon type of vibe, you know, maybe like an Empire Pictures or something like that. Definitely feels super low budget. I was having issues with like the acting. I was like, man, this acting is kind of bad. And then I realized that, oh, it's necessarily not the acting that's bad, it's that all of the lines are ADR, meaning, you know, not the voice matching with the character from that moment. It's done in post, recorded, and added to the film as a dub. So I was like, oh, okay, it's the ADR, which still makes it seem bad, you know what I mean? But then, like, all of a sudden, I was, like, really interested in what was going on in the movie. It's, like, a basic, like, plot, but, like, it's really cool seeing these people get killed, because the gore is really good in this movie. Like, there's some great effects in this movie. And honestly, like, there's a lot of them. So you're getting, like, all the downtime pays off because you're just waiting for the next kill or the next gore effect and the next, like, cool effect, special effects, and that kind of makes the movie worth watching, honestly. Basic story, but really fun. Honestly, a really fun movie. And I will say that, like, this Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray is awesome. First of all, the transfer is amazing. Like, Vinegar Syndrome does such an amazing job. Second, this Blu-ray is uncut. This is the first time ever that this film has been released uncut. The only fully uncut version of this film existed in Kevin Tenney's personal collection on a 35mm print. So we finally get this film uncut, which is awesome. And then also, I've only checked out one of the special features, which was an interview with director Kevin Tenney. But it was a fantastic interview. You hear why the film was ADR'd. Basically, this movie was produced and directed on the super cheap, pretty much by themselves with, like, a little bit of help financially with basically student filmmakers. Kevin Tenney got a lot of his friends and fellow student filmmakers involved in the film to show his appreciation for them helping him throughout the years on his other projects. And basically the woman who was doing the sound had the volume too low when it was recording, and it didn't pick up a lot of it, so there was hisses throughout all of the audio, basically meaning they had to ADR everything, which, you know, every footstep, shirt ruffle, birds chirping, doors slamming, all of that is ADR'd, which is incredible. that they put that much effort into this film, but I can only imagine the nightmare of doing the film and then realizing that you have no audio. It's basically a silent film, and then having to problem solve that. I mean, that's just a nightmare, you know. So learning all this cool stuff from Kevin Tenney was really cool. I'm going to come in at a 7 out of 10 on Witchtrap, but this Blu-ray is highly worth picking up. Like, I highly recommend it. Grab this Blu-ray. Vinegar Syndrome is becoming one of my favorites, and I wish I had more money to just buy some of their backlog because I don't own that many. But see you guys tomorrow with another review. Peace.